Are you interested in buying yourself some Haikyuu merch? From Karasuno High Team, to Nikoma High Team, Shiratorizawa Academy Team, and Fukurni Academy Team. Go click the link in my description box now, and get some awesome discounts from 17% up to 71% off. They offer you free shipping as well. So, what are you waiting for? Link in the description.
The crowd cheered as the skater landed the jump. He moved gracefully over the ice as if it were his natural habitat. Everyone stared in awe into the rink as the skater ended with a Biellmann spin. The stadium was filled with cheers and screams for the skater. People threw roses and others threw papers with their numbers written on them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shinsuke Kita. Even more screams and cheers filled the stadium as Kita glided off the rink and into the changing rooms. How does it feel to know you got another guaranteed win? Oh, shut up. You don't know that for sure. I think we do know that. You win first place every year. Who's to say you won't win for a fourth time? Of course, with Atsumu in second and myself in third, also for a fourth year. I hate you guys so much. No, you don't. The three laughed and talked whilst changing back into their regular clothes. While leaving, multiple people stopped them to ask if they could take pictures with them. The three happily agreed, as they loved taking pictures with fans. They left the stadium after. You guys wanna go to a cafe? Sure, I could go for a latte. I told Osamu I'd be home in an hour and a half, so I got time. Let's go. They walked down the sidewalk to the cafe, once again, getting stopped by people who recognized them. To them, the best part about being a famous ice skater wasn't the prizes or medals, it was about the people who adored them. They loved that feeling. They finally made it to their signature cafe and found a table by the window in a corner. A waitress came by their table and took their orders, then proceeded to walk to the counter and hand their order to the person working behind it. Suna and Atsumu were talking amongst themselves while Kita stared out the window at the beautiful sunset. He admired sunsets, and always hoped that would be the place for his first date. As he was staring at the sunset, a figure walked past the glass. When they turned around, they saw Kita staring into the distance. When Kita looked away from the sunset, they locked eyes for quite some time at that. The other person they were walking with nudged their arm and snapped them from their gaze with Kita. Kita, you okay? You've been staring out the window for a while and I'm pretty sure your latte is cold now. Kita snapped back into reality. Huh? Did you say something? Sorry, I wasn't listening. We can tell, you've been out of it for a while. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I was just staring at the sunset, that's all. We can't see the sunset from here anymore. Yeah, I noticed it looked like you were staring at something else. What was it? A person? The ground. I was staring at the ground thinking of my next performance. Nice save. Didn't succeed though. You guys suck. Atsumu and Suna chuckled at Kita, then finished their things. They paid and left, then went their separate ways. Kita walked home thinking about that person he had a stare down with. Who was he? Will I ever get to see him again? Questions appeared one by one in Kita's mind. Questions he didn't know the answers to. Questions he wanted to know the answers to. I want to see him again. The next day, Saturday 3:25 p.m., the announcer closed off Atsumu as he bowed and picked up a few roses, then glided off the ring. Hello future third place. Atsumu took off his skates and stepped to the side, where he was soon after wrapped in a hug by his boyfriend SakuAtsu. The announcer called for Suna to enter the rink as he tied his skates. Wish me luck. He glided into the rink and waved at both sides of the stadium. Aaron, what are we doing here? Do I need to repeat myself? Well, obviously. I told you it's because I saw that famous ice skater at the cafe yesterday, Shinsuke Kita. I wanted to come watch him perform. You mean that award-winning ice skater who won 3 times in a row? I just told you that, didn't I? Well, sorry, it's loud in this stadium. I think he's after this skater, Rintaro Suna. He's cute too, dude. He has a boyfriend. Relax, he's not the one I want. But who is it? It's the brother of Atsumu Miya, Osamu, the owner of that famous onigiri shop. Yeah, there's Atsumu down there with your skater lover. Akagi pointed off the rink to where Atsumu was standing with SakuAtsu. I thought you said he was down there too. He is. He turned Eren's head towards Kita and pointed again. There he is. Eren just stared in the direction his head was turned. He admired how Kita looked. There were hundreds of thousands of people in the stadium, but all he saw was Kita. He wore a see-through black top with red velvet fabric that covered what it needed, and the black pants to go with it. His skates also black. The announcer closed off Suna as he did the same as Atsumu and glided off the ring, also being greeted by his boyfriend. All right, ladies and gents, here's our final skater, Shinsuke Kita. Eren watched intently as Kita glided onto the ice, waving at the people surrounding the outskirts of the stadium on the bleachers. You staring mighty hard. Do you see him? Look at him. He's beautiful. I can see that. You talked about it non-stop when you locked eyes with him yesterday. You make me sound like a simp. You are. I'm not. Don't tell that lie. Do you think I can get his number? Simp. Fine. Whatever. I'm still gonna try though. Of course you are. Peter ended his performance with a camel spin and the whole stadium cheered. Some people next to them screamed, "I love you, Kita." A lot more roses were thrown this time, papers with phone numbers written on them being thrown as well. Kita picked up a dozen of roses and skated off the ring. Wow, I never realized how popular he actually is. That's a lot of roses and papers down there. Yeah, RIP janitor. I can barely see the ice. Kita took off his skates and walked to the changing rooms with the others. Still think you won't win first place for a 4th year? I'm calling it. First place is yours again. Not only that, you get so many roses and phone numbers thrown to you that it almost covers the entire ring. So not only are you an award winner for almost 4 years straight, but you're also extremely popular. If popularity mattered, you'd still win. You give me too much credit. We know you got a little something something for being appreciated. Okay, fine. You caught me. Whatever. The 3 laughed and changed their clothes, then left the changing rooms. As usual, they got stopped multiple times to take pictures with people. As they finally made it to the doors, Kita was stopped one more time. But it wasn't someone else who stopped him. He stopped by himself when he locked eyes with the person he saw yesterday. Atsumu and Suna noticed Kita wasn't with them anymore and turned around. When they saw why he got stopped, they smirked at each other. Suna walked up beside Kita and placed his hand on his shoulder. Go get your man, lover boy. He smiled at Kita, then walked off. Akagi nudged Eren forward and walked off to take pictures with Suna and Atsumu. Eren and Kita were both visibly nervous. Hi, I'm Eren. Kita, is he always this nervous? No, he's usually straightforward. I've only seen him nervous when he really likes someone. What about Kita? Meh, he's the same way. Come on, stranger. For what? To help. Obviously. Atsumu and Akagi walked over to the awkward pair. Atsumu leaned on Kita's shoulder and Akagi placed his hand on Eren's shoulder. Kita, this guy here likes you. I don't know your name. This guy here likes you too. Kita stared at Atsumu with a surprised face. Eren staring at Akagi the same way. Why would you do that? I was gonna tell him. Sure, when? Eventually. Exactly. You should be thanking me. Same with you, Kita. You should be thanking me. Bye now. Atsumu and Akagi walked back over to Suna to watch the two play out their awkwardness. Eren and Kita looked at each other with embarrassed faces. Sorry about that. He was just trying to help. Kita held out his hand, which surprised Eren. He looked at Kita's hand with confusion. What? Your phone? You want my number, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Eren's heart was racing as he looked for his phone. He found his phone and unlocked it for Kita to put his number in. Kita then called himself from Eren's phone and stored his contact in and handed his phone back. Oh, I'll see you around. Eren smiled and waved, Kita doing the same. Eren left with Akaji. Suna and Atsumu smiled at each other, then walked up to Kita. Look at us, wingmen, the best in town. They clinked their skates with each other's. That was so stressful. I thought I was gonna chicken out. As we said, wingman, best in town. I guess I can thank you guys. You guess. Kita, you know full well there is no I guess. You better give us our well-deserved thanks. Okay, fine. Thank you. That's better. Suna and Atsumu put their arm over Kita's shoulders and left the stadium, going their separate ways after talking a little more. Kita got home and tossed his bag to the side and flopped on the couch, exhausted like every other day. Should I call? Is it too soon? Would that be weird if I called right now? Kita's phone rang, which caused him to flinch. He picked up his phone and looked at the caller ID. It's Eren. Well, that saved me the stress of me calling first. He answered the phone and heard Eren arguing with someone. Shut up, Akaji. Hello. Oh shoot. Hi Kita. Sorry about that. Kita laughed and said it's fine. They talked for hours, Kita getting the answers to some of the questions he wondered. He walked aimlessly around the house while talking to Eren and ended up in his room. All right, it's time for me to go. Oh really? Come on, don't you have practice in the morning, Mr. Popular? Wait, what time is it? 12:30 a.m. We've been talking for 5 hours. That's a lot for a first call. I would have expected that for like our second call. Our second. You'd wanna call again? Well yeah, of course. Why not? It's nothing. I just thought you wouldn't have a lot of time. Call anytime. You know my schedule. I gotta go. Later. Bye. Kita hung up the phone and placed it on the charger. 5 hours. That's a record. Kita chuckled to himself and got under his covers, turning off his light and getting comfortable, then falling asleep. 9 hours later, he woke up and started getting dressed for practice. After he finished, he got his phone and saw some messages from Atsumu and Suna, the usual. What surprised him was a good morning text from Eren. A good morning text. Kita's heart raced as he smiled to himself. He replied to the text and went to a group chat. Latest skaters group chat. Hey latest skaters, Atsumu, that name is dumb. Never. You're dumb. Fight me on site. It's on when we get to practice. Guys Kita. Concerned eye and mouth emojis. You good? Concerned woman standing emoji. It's Eren, your lover boy. What about him? Did he ditch you already? Sooner what? Me and Atsumu ganging up on you for that one. And no, he didn't. He texted me good morning please. Okay Kita, get your mans. Get you a piece of that. Give him that super sucker twist 4K. Atsumu stop frogs. Atsumu I'ma smack you what? I just took what Kita was thinking and put it into words. I spoke facts. Goodbye. I hate you so much. Kita finally got to the stadium and walked through the doors. He walked to the ice rink and saw Atsumu and Suna fighting each other. Atsumu, I'm rooting for you. Thanks Kita. Hey. Kita laughed as the two went back to fighting each other. He walked to the changing rooms and put on his leotard and carried his skates to the ring. Atsumu and Suna were laying on the ice after fighting with each other. Who won? Atsumu slowly lifted his hand and Suna pointed to Atsumu. Kita put on his skates and stepped onto the ice, skating towards the two. That's what I thought. Now, go put on your skates. Let's do this. After practice, Atsumu and Suna changed their clothes and said bye to Kita, who was staying a little longer to practice more. Kita glided across the ice, jumps and spins here and there. He was graceful as a swan. He was magnificent. His visitor thought so too. Eren stared in awe as he watched Kita effortlessly glide across the ice. It was like skating was his natural talent, as if it came to him naturally. His home. Kita did his last spin and stood in the middle of the ice, his chest heaving up and down. Eren started clapping and it scared Kita, which caused him to slip. Oh shoot, my bad. Eren stepped onto the ice and slowly started walking towards the middle. Kita could stand up easily, but he wanted to watch how this would play out. As he expected, Eren slipped halfway towards the middle, which made Kita laugh. Oh, so you think that's funny? Why, yes I do. You do comedy. I could get into it. As long as you pay for it with your company, consider it paid. They laughed as Eren crawled on the ice towards Kita. He laid the back of his hand on the ice. Kita looked at his hand and smiled at Eren, grabbing his hand and intertwining their fingers, supporting their hands on their elbows. What would you say if I asked you out to a cafe? I would say yes. What would you say if I said to pick me up after the competition today? I'd say I'll be there. Then it's a date. A date it is. They squeezed each other's hand and smiled once again. Hours later, 3:30 p.m., at SakuAtsu, and Kita watched the skater that was currently on the ice. They admit he was a good skater, but they would also admit that he couldn't compare with them. Ooh guys, I have some news. You're quitting skating. You're a drug addict. You caught an STD, chlamydia. What? No, definitely not, and never that. I'm still a virgin, you idiots. Oh, right. Forgot you aren't with your lover boy, yet at least. Shut up. Anyway, the news is I got a date. Lover boy asked you out. About time. Got tired of hearing you complain about him not asking you out. I will strangle you. Alright everybody, give it up for OsaSuna. Strangle me later. It's my turn on the ice. You got lucky. Suna stuck out his tongue and skated onto the ice, waving at both sides of the stadium. The crowd went crazy as usual. You think he's too popular to not get noticed that he's dead? Kita, what? Actually, never mind. I don't wanna know. What? I still wanna strangle him, so it's a valid question. You a different breed, I swear. Keep talking and you're next. Atsumu put his hands up in defeat and laughed. Kita laughing as well. 20 minutes later, Suna skated off the ice with a bouquet of roses tucked under his arm. Looks like another bouquet of roses added to my collection. You actually keep those? Duh. You don't? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Cause your slow processing brain made you say it like you don't keep them. Okay, 1. Don't diss my brain like that. 2. We gon' fight when you get off the ice. It's on site bet. Catch these hands, Atsu. Atsumu shot Kita a playful glare before he was called onto the ice. He waved at both sides and started his performance. We woke up and chose violence. We choose violence every day. That's our friendship. You know what we should do? We should all meet up at your place. All as in the 3 of us. No, all as in this whole stadium. All these people can't fit in my place. Suna hit Kita's arm and they laughed. You know what I mean. I do. Are you sure that's a good idea? Of course. Why isn't it? Osamu and SakuAtsu can be very judgmental. Samu is not judgmental, you take that back. Fight me. Bet, let's go. 30. Atsumu skated off the rink with 2 bouquets of roses tucked under his arm. Another successful performance. Imagine having an unsuccessful performance. We can all relate when we first started skating. SHH, nobody needs to know that. Keep it on the DL, Kita. What? You chicken? Us. I oughta pimp slap you for that one. We still gon' fight, so do it. You won't. Atsumu tried to hit Kita, but he dodged it and karate chopped his side. You still got these karate chops from high school? Can't relate. Never got chopped. That's cause you didn't care to do much. Look at me now, skating around a huge ring. Doing much. Suna laughed and got chopped in the stomach by Atsumu, which made him wheeze. Oh god. Welcome back from the intermission, everybody. Let's have our final skater, Shinsuke Kita. Suna was still bent over holding his stomach from the chop when he gave a shaky thumbs up. Good luck. As Kita skated towards the ring, he heard Atsumu say, I didn't chop you that hard, did I? He skated onto the ice and waved at the people. He started with a loop jump and went into a Hydra blade. The crowd watched intently as Kita did his performance. Why do you keep dragging me with you? Because I don't feel like driving and you like to. That's not a valid reason. Make it valid. Besides, look at how gracefully he skates. Look at me with a serious face and tell me you wouldn't want to see that. Akaji turned towards Eren with a serious face. No, don't you dare. I wouldn't want to see that. You're lying. Of course I am. Do you see him? He's so graceful. You don't have to tell me that, right? Forgot you're a grade A simp. I'll fight you. No balls you won't. Who said I'll fight you now? I gotta keep my face pretty. I got a date, right? Your little date with your skater lover. I gotta be the luckiest person in the stadium. What makes you think that? Boy, I almost backhanded you. Anybody would be lucky to go on a date with Kita and it happened to be me. I like his personality and he's such a calm person. On the ice, Kita was the calmest. But in his mind,
twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Twinkle Twinkle Little Star played on a constant loop to keep him calm and from messing up. They all had a song that constantly played in their heads while they were on the ice. Atsumu's was MMMH by Kai and Suna's was Overdose by XOK. After Kita skated off the ice, he saw Atsumu and Suna arguing. What was it this time? This nerd said being high is better than being drunk. Because it is, obviously, Suna. This argument is pointless. Thank you. Because Suna's right. What? Ha, suck it nerd. You know what, both of you don't exist to me anymore. Atsumu turned and strut into the changing room. Suna and Kita looked at each other and said drama queen, then walked into the changing room as well. After they got done changing and walked out of the rooms, Atsumu stopped to look at Kita. Why are you wearing a completely different outfit than what you got here with? Suna backhanded Atsumu on his forehead. Ow. Oh, never mind, I remember. Atsumu hit Suna on the chest and he wheezed. You could have just told me, shithead. I don't regret that. Oh god, why'd you hit me so hard? Because why not? Is there a day or time we go without abusing each other? The three looked at each other and laughed. Yeah, that's never gonna be possible. Alright, I gotta go. Good luck. Kita walked towards the door and stopped between Atsumu and Suna. What? Are you forgetting something? Yeah. Kita hit Atsumu on the chest and he wheezed. Never mind. Guess I'm not. Suna laughed and Kita did too as he walked out of the changing room. He saw Eren sitting by the entrance waiting. He looked like he was asleep, so Kita quietly walked over to him. He looks peaceful. Kita stood in front of Eren and stared at his face. Maybe a little too peaceful. He isn't dead, is he? Eren slowly opened his eyes and saw Kita staring at him. Huh? What? Kita noticed he was still in front of Eren's face and backed up. Sorry. Forgot I was doing that. It's fine. You ready? Yeah, let's go. Eren stood up and held out his hand. Kita looked at his hand and smiled, grabbing Eren's hand with his own and leaving the building. Wingman, best in town. They smiled at each other and bumped fists. Eren and Kita got to the cafe and sat at Kita's favorite table, which was in the corner by the window. Why do you like this table? Because I get to see the sunset more clearly from here. I've always loved sunsets since I was a kid. Sunsets? Huh. Eren and Kita finished at the cafe and left. We got one more place to go to. Really? Where? It's a surprise. Eren led Kita to a field and climbed the hill, taking off his jacket and handing it to Kita. Eren, what are we doing here? You'll see. Put the jacket and sit on the grass. Eren sat on the grass and Kita put the jacket on, sitting on the grass. After a few minutes went past that they spent looking over the hill. Now, look at the sky. Kita raised his eyebrow and looked at the sky. He saw the orangish pink and purple sunset and his jaw dropped. I've never seen anything this beautiful before. Neither have I, but I'm glad I got to see it with you. Eren grabbed Kita's hand and held it. Kita looked at their hands and smiled, turning back to look at the sunset. Hey, I have a question. I have an answer. What is it? Eren took a deep breath. will you go out with me? Of course. Aaron's eyes widened and he looked at Kita. Really? Yeah, I really like you, so of course. He actually said yes. Okay, that's mostly my fault. He showed a lot that he liked me back, so I should've expected that answer. Stupid. Aaron laid his head on Kita's shoulder. I really like you too. Saturday, 10:30 a.m. No, I'm not drawing 4. Omi, just draw the damn cards. No, and you can't make me. Can you just draw the simple 4 cards so we can continue the game? Yeah, you're acting like Atsu. A lot. You know what, Samu? Atsumu grabbed a small portion of the deck and handed them to Osamu. Hold up, what are you? Then Atsumu played his next card. The blank wild card. Everybody gasped and looked at Osamu. Oh, you did not just do that, and did. What you gonna do? Nice kill. Or thank you, Omi. I mean, we could switch spots so you can get him back. No. Aaron, don't you dare do that. Do it. Kita. Osamu and Aaron switched places, so Osamu sat next to Atsumu and Aaron sat next to Kita. Osamu had the advantage now. We gon' fight Aaron. Remember that. I'll dock you. Come at me. I'll record it. Go at him. Alright, Atsu. Let's get your cards up some. Oh my god. Osamu put down 4+4 cards. Oh my. Holy. Black. God. Draw them 16, Atsu. Me and you. We definitely gon' fight. Come at me. I'll peg you. You wait, no, that came out wrong. What? LMAO. I'm gone. Deceased, I can't. Stop laughing. A few days later. Tuesday, 4:30 p.m., the day of the tournament. The last one of the year. The one that would determine if Kita would win first place for a 4th year. Atsumu and Suna already had their turn on the ice and waited with Kita for his turn. You got this. Okay, Kita. There's no need to be scared, okay? You've done this every year for the past 3 years. I know. I don't know why I'm all of a sudden so nervous. I've never been nervous. I was always confident. This is all new to me. Calm down, okay? Shake it off a little. Take deep breaths to steady yourself. Okay. Kita stopped pacing and took deep breaths, shaking his arms and legs out every few breaths. Okay, I think I'm okay. Good, because you're on in a minute and a half. Atsumu, Suna, and Kita walked to the entrance to the ice ring. Suna and Atsumu sat on the bench while Kita stood at the entrance, putting his skates on. 30 seconds. Kita took a few deep breaths before he was called onto the ice. Alright, everybody. Here's our last skater for this year's tournament, Shinsuke Kita. Good luck, Kita. He took one more breath then started skating. As usual, he was graceful, but more graceful than usual. This time, he had everyone on the edge of their seats with how gracefully he glided than usual. Because of his nervousness, it had seemed to change the way he skated. It made his glides, jumps, and spins more elegant. Even Suna and Atsumu were at the edge of their seats. Kita finished his performance with a triple axel, a jump he only attempted twice and landed once. The entire stadium stood up and went wild, clapping and cheering at the top of their lungs. Even Kita himself was surprised with what he had done. He was breathing heavily after his performance. I did it. I actually did it. Atsumu and Suna were yelling and cheering for Kita. Even they didn't know Kita was able to do such a difficult jump. Kita started to skate towards the entrance. When he got closer, he was caught in a kiss and tackled onto the ice. Kita instantly knew who it was and started crying, hugging the person who tackled him. Aaron, you're here, of course. I couldn't miss the biggest moment of your life. Kita hugged him tighter. I love you so much. I love you too.